this piece because there's a few people that couldn't make this that have asked me that they want the recording. So I prepared this Entrepreneur's Business Review canvas specifically for people that are unsure what to do right now. Hi, Bruno, welcome. You've just joined us. We're actually just starting to get into a little bit of the presentation piece. So the things that I've had to do in the last specifically 2 weeks is look at these aspects of, first of all, money, then, you know, my own team, our clients, and our product. Now, a lot of people's tendency would be to start with the product. How can I sell more? But I think one of the things, you know, I want to ensure security for my team, and therefore I had to look at money first. So one of the things I did with Johan as my business partner is looked at a prioritization of what's going on at the moment. What is our current outstanding invoices? Let's prioritize those clients. Let's make calls to them and make sure that we can ensure that they pay on time. Because I think in this time, one of the issues is everybody's going home. The finance people in the companies where we've got outstanding invoices, their people are going home and they might not be able to run these systems and make their payments from home. So, you know, just prioritizing, you know, who needs to pay what, and also engaging with our suppliers and prioritizing those payments. Then one of the next things we had to do was decide, what are we going to stop? So we use a lot of cloud-based platforms. We run our entire business on cloud platforms. And we had to look at, you know, what are the essential platforms and what are some of the things that's really nice to have. And we had to shut those down. The next piece that we had to do around the finances is negotiate. So some of the discussions I had with the banks this week to say, guys, you know, what are we looking at in terms of, you know, payment holidays on home loan repayments? What can we do in terms of bridging credit if our clients should pay late? And to my kind of shock and horror, I got an email at 5:30 2 days ago from a bank where we've had a business account for a number of years. And the letter said, because our account has not been, or our credit hasn't been used, they're actually revoking our overdraft. And I could not believe the timing of this. So I think one of the things is, you know, we're seeing also how brands act in this time, you know, really shows their true colors. So the next thing is really around planning. So we've been planning for the last few days, looking at when are we due to make payments, when are our clients due. We've had really good negotiation discussions with some of our clients, just to say to them, you know, we are a small business, and, you know, by making your payments early, you could really help us. And we have offered discounts as well on some of the payments, you know, by bringing it a month earlier, you know, we've offered people some discounts. So I think, you know, just the financial piece is probably the one that I kind of shy away from, but that's really important. Then on the next topic of team, you know, for some of you, you are working on your own. Some of you might have team members. And I think, again, really important to connect. Even if you're working on your own, I would really suggest that you find yourself a network that you can link into. You could also hang with us, because we've got a workshop a day, and we've got the slogan that says a workshop a day keeps the fear of the virus away. So get yourself connected to people so that you can get the support and you can give support. Then I've had to remind myself, you know, the letter I got from the bank and subsequent discussions about the fact that they revoke an overdraft that's been in place for a number of years a day before lockdown. I've had to remind myself to be kind. You know, because as soon as I'm unkind to someone else, because I mean, I did want to punch someone in the face. I'm not going to lie to you. But you know, it spills over in other parts of our lives. So I continuously remind myself, yes, I'm the leader. Yes, I've got a lot of stuff on my plate at the moment. I worry a lot, but I've got to be kind. And then being real. So, you know, for my team, I've had to say to them, these are the things I know, these are the things I don't know. You know, we're all dealing with a lot of uncertainty. And the best we can do right now is be authentic and be transparent. And then in terms of values, you know, we've got our values are really around kindness, around care, and around being real. And we've got to bring ourselves back to that, because as soon as you let fear drive your decisions, then it pulls you out of your integrity. So just a reminder to businesses, and we're doing this with our clients as well, to say, remember your values that are on your wall. Now is the time that they tested. Values aren't tested when times are good. Values are tested when the chips are down, like it is now. And now it's down for everyone. All right, you're welcome to, if you've got any questions, you can type it into the chat. I've got 2 more sections that I want to talk through with you. So the next piece is really around our clients. And in our own overwhelm, we've got to constantly remind ourselves that we exist because we've got amazing clients. And one of the things we started doing for our clients, and we did for 1 or 2 clients, and we're still in that process, is doing an empathy map. And this empathy map is really focusing on the individuals that are our sponsors inside our clients. And we say, well, what's going on for them? What are they seeing? What are they hearing? You know, what are they seeing, you know, in terms of the news, in terms of business, what's happening with them at the moment? What are some of the decisions they need to make right now? What are the fears they have, and what are the needs they have? Because now, I think, like Sharon reminded us, it's the worst time to try and sell your product, to shove your product down someone's throat. It's really, really a bad time. People are being bombarded with marketing emails and with emails of sympathy. And I think everybody's trying their best. But now more than ever, you know, if we look at the customer journey, everybody's now trying to get the attention of the same customer. So in that empathy map, what we try and do is identify our clients' problems right now, not generic problems. What are their problems right now? So if I take, you know, the typical leader that we're dealing with, you know, they need to send their people home. Most of the time we've struggled with these guys because they can't Zoom, they can't go to YouTube, they can't go to Mural, they can't go to any of the cloud platforms that we want to send them to, because it's blocked on their corporate network. So one of the issues is you send people home, now they need to learn potentially new systems to deal with. The security protocols need to be lifted inside the company, they need to unblock these things. And now, in most of these companies, the reason why they don't have a work from home policy is because they don't trust people. Now everybody's sent home, and there used to be a lack of trust. Now you're combining a lack of trust with a lack of protocols and processes and rituals. So leading remotely is a skill that people don't have. So all of a sudden, you know, if we look at that, you know, we can say, well, you know, there's other problems that we can help them solve now. As facilitators and as leaders, you know, we can help them with very specific problems. And therefore, we can ideate to solve their problems and try and link that back to our product. All right, so the third piece that I'm going to come to now is around your product. So for many people, you know, they're quite precious about their product. You know, they've got great marketing capabilities, they have a brochure, they have a pack, they've got a presentation and a proposal. And now I'm going to challenge you and say, break your product. So break your product apart. See the smallest pieces in which you can break your product into. and see how you can repurpose that, how you can reinvent that, how you can repackage that, and then rechannel it. And that's some of the sentiments we heard earlier is, how do we rechannel this? And what I mean by rechannel is, can I make this available online? Can I change this to be a mobile offering or a phone offering? Can I take what I know and can I package it into a document-driven solution, and I combine that into a package? And then the last piece there is around partnerships. Can I cleverly partner in this time to bring a richer value proposition, or to bring my value proposition into other markets? And I think in terms of collaboration and partnership, I've never had so many emails in my inbox saying, hey, Chantal, we've got something, you know, are you interested? Or we love what you do, can you combine it? I've been invited to online speaking gigs and events and podcasts like never before, which I'm delighted by. But again, now my prioritization needs to kick in, and I need to say, well, there's a ton of stuff that I want to do for love, but I need to focus and balance that in terms of securing income, so that I can look after, you know, my team, I can look after my family, and I have clients that in this time, they see me more real than ever before. They see me living my values. They see me standing in my integrity. And I'm really honestly getting involved to help them in this time of need. So this is the canvas that I wanted to speak through with you, and I will give you a PDF copy of this in an email. And I really suggest that you go and think through these different topics and just see how that resonates with you. All right, I'm going to quickly stop our share and let's just see questions. Any questions that came to mind? Raise your hand. Unmute yourself and just ask questions. Marilee.
Hi, can I?
Yeah. Go for it. Marley, you want to go?
Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So you're speaking about breaking your product into smaller pieces. How will that work, or how do you see? What do you mean by breaking it, please?
All right, Marley. So what's the product that you have that you're the proudest of?
Probably Brand Warrior.
All right, so Brand Warrior in its current form is a extensive program, a 12-week program. It is a expensive program. It is a face-to-face program, and it is for large teams. So if we look at that product and you chop that product into pieces, what is the thing that stands out for you in the Brand Warrior product that you think could survive on its own?
Okay, yeah, probably the skills section.
All right, so you've got a whole lot of interpersonal skills there, and I know you've been working on an online program specifically for listening, you know, to teach people how to listen, because now in this digital age, now that we're on the Zoom call, you know, how do we make sure that we listen to each other? You know, it's one thing being in the same room and I can see what's going on, but now all of a sudden I'm looking at 12 faces. How do I know you guys are listening and not doing your email or busy with WhatsApp or Furquan, I caught you out, dude.
Caught him.
So all I'm saying is we might be in the same meeting room and we might be distracted, which I had a problem with in any case before this shit started. I had a problem with that people were doing 2 emails and reading a document and they're on 2 phones at the same time, because I don't think our brains work like that. Now, you know, now our brains, and that's why I love, Johan, thank you so much for helping me with this raise of hands, because if we were in a room, I would have seen it. But now that I'm looking at 12 blocks on the screen, I really struggle to catch everybody's hands being raised. And I think Zoom can definitely improve their little icons and their stuff. So I think, Marley, if we then take listening, you know, what can we, if we break that out of that product set, you know, what can we do around listening? You know, if we were just doing voice without any video, we would potentially listen better to each other. So I think that's what I mean, break your product. And we're going to go into an exercise now where we're going to split into 2 teams, and we will give feedback in the bigger group. But it's also to say, well, what's the opposite of your product? So we're going to use 2 methods when we go into brainstorming now, to say, well, what is the worst idea that you can do with your product? And then what is the total opposite of your product? And we're going to use each other as thinking partners to do this. And this is a time for you to really help each other and give each other an objective feedback on your product. And that's really what the purpose of this session is, not for me to have a one-way kind of lecture to you, but for you guys to help each other think about what you can do now. I think we think very much, everybody's thinking now online education, and we're gonna do a set of videos. But I think we need to think broader than that. I think we need to think differently. You know, what can this look like? I've got a friend in the UK, and I want to quickly give you this example. I've got a friend in the UK, and she sent me a message 3 days ago. She said to me, Chantal, my mom's in Somerset West in a retirement village. She can't go to the shop. She's not going to get out at all. She's not very social. She doesn't really like the people living around her. Could you phone her just twice a week? And I said, absolutely. And my immediate thought was, yes, in this time of need, we need to be kind to each other, and we need to give what we can. But I also believe that there's a business opportunity here where I'm sure Kath would have paid someone to phone her mom if she didn't have me as her friend. You know, so is there a subscription service that we can offer for hundreds of domestic people that are going to sit at home now, not having any income or jobs? Could they phone people? You know, is there something? So I want us to think outside of that mold. All right, Johan, you had your hand.
Yeah, it's almost speaking to what you said now, just by listening to you now, breaking the product up into small pieces. But all of a sudden, you need to look what is sitting around your product as well. I mean, I think the word photography came up twice, that we need photography skills. So all of a sudden, in breaking my product up and helping us to get something on a new platform, I can apply something else, like my photography skills or video skills, but I can also repurpose that, and that becomes a new product in itself. So, you know, you can teach somebody else how to do it. So there's little chunks, and thinking what's sitting around it also helps. I just realized that now as you spoke.
So I want to just quickly latch onto Johan's story. Johan, I just had a thought. So Johan is one of I would say one of South Africa's best photographers, and I'm not objective because I'm also married to him. But I fell in love with him doing a photography course, and he was the moderator of our photography exhibition. Now the story is just going to go all wrong now, so I'm going to stop it there. But so Johan used to do outings with us, and he would take us into nature, and he would say, within a 1 by 1 square meter block, photograph as many things as what your eye can see and turn it into beautiful art photography. And I think similar to that, you know, I think again, if we think differently, you know, while you want to dust off your photography skills, there's such a lot of stuff that you can do in your home. And there's such a lot of things that you can do around still life photography and practicing, you know, with natural light at the window. So Johan is working on some stuff. So I would really stay connected with him and just watch. He's going to do a whole lot of, so we're literally doing a workshop a day. We post it on LinkedIn. and we do any kind of thing that we can possibly think about. We're doing workshops for kids next week. We're doing laughter yoga. Sharon, I know you did some laughter yoga with Marley. So Wednesdays will be our laughter yoga day. And I think it's about, you know, getting a tribe of people that can offer different things. Yalu, I look at you, digital marketing, teach us, you know, and I think that's really the call for people to say, this is a showcase of, you know, showing what you can do and donating that to the rest of the community. Alrighty, so if there's no more questions or comments, we are now going to break into 2 groups. All right, so I know some of you have been on the Zoom with us before. For the ones that haven't been, I'm going to divide us up into 2 groups. We're going to go into our breakaway rooms. We're going to have a discussion as a smaller group, and then we will automatically be brought back to this space. So in this small group, I want to quickly just share my screen and show you what you will be doing in the small group. All right, so what we've got for you is 3 boards, and I will join one group, and I think, Johan, I would like you in the other group, and then we'll see how we divide up the rest of Brand Love. So Marilee and Johan will each be in a group, and then I'll shuttle between the 2 groups. So first, we're going to ask you, let's just see. Oh, Marilee dropped off. Okay, Marilee's back in. So first, we're going to ask you to just, here again, just put your product here at the top. So each person will choose a stack of Post-it notes, and, you know, list your product there at the top, and then put on the other Post-it notes, just each individually, you know, what was your plan with your product? Where's your thinking at this moment in time? And put 1 idea per Post-it note. So like Marley said, we've got Brand Warrior. At the moment, we're looking at chopping it into pieces and repurposing it and seeing how we can do something that used to be stunning face-to-face. How can we do that now digitally and online? All right, so 1 idea per Post-it note. Then we're going to let everyone do their product. Then the next piece we're going to do is, now you are going to have a round discussion. You're going to mention, each person will get a chance to mention their product, and we will get the other people to say, well, what's the worst idea that you can possibly do with that product? And very often, Jen is the person who taught us this method. Very often when we look at what's the worst possible idea and we flip it around, the pressure is often we actually come up with something really, really good. All right, so facilitators, I will also help you in the 2 groups just to capture this so that people can enjoy the discussion. And then another technique we want to try is, for each person and their product, we want to then have a round of discussion to say, well, what's the opposite of that product? Is there something we can do that's an opposite? And then we will come back to this big room, and we will have a discussion just on what were some of your findings, and then we'll see whether there's a way that we can continue to support each other. All right, any questions before we break out? Yes, Johan.
No, I just need to make sure, do we have 2 Marilee Smits now?
Yes, we do.
What is the chances of that?
Well, the one.
Oh, wow, that's good. Good people.
Maybe Carmen's entered the room because I know she wanted to join.
Okay, so I think Carmen, I think my link, so she's using my link.
Okay.
Yes, so welcome, Carmen.
Okay, that's great.
Marley.
Excellent,
Oh.
stunning. That's why I thought Marley disappeared and then Marley appeared. So welcome, Marley and Marley.
We'd be so lucky to have 2 Marlies.
Absolutely, she is double trouble. All right, stunning. Okay, so if I can, I'm going to split you into groups now, and let's see how that discussion goes. We're sitting now at 5 to 3. Yes, Marley?
Just want to double check the 2 groups. Are you going to just share the links? Are you going to share separate links for the board?
I will put let me quickly do that before we split out.